Good morning. My name is Armando Puente. I'm going to be your teacher for today. We're going to learn about the subject of present simple tense and present progressive tense. So we're going to start off first with present simple tense. The present simple tense is one of the several forms that the English language has for us to use the present simple, the simple tense. It is used mostly to describe unchanging activities, fixed arrangements, daily habits. It's generally used to describe things that are happening in the present but not exactly happening at the moment. Okay? Things that are happening right now, in the present but not at the moment. That's really an important difference between the simple present tense and the present progressive. Okay? So keep that in mind. The uses, like I said before, we can use the simple present to talk about regular habits or daily routines. We can use this to express an action that we are doing every day, repeatedly, continuously. Hobbies, daily events, like for example, I brush my teeth every day, I never eat breakfast in the morning, she always forgets her purse, the school opens every morning at 7 a.m. We're going to do some exercises at the end of the explanation. We can also use the simple present tense for fact or generalization. Most of the time we're going to use the simple tense to describe, or for us, the speaker, to express that a fact that we believe it's true now, it will be true in the future, and was true before we knew about it. For example, Ciudad Victoria is the capital of Tamaulipas. It was true before I knew it was true. It will be true in the future, and it's true right now. Kids like candy, cats like milk. I meant it's a fact. Okay? We also can use it to generalize things or to talk about people in general. We can also use, in some cases, the simple present to talk about scheduled events in the near future. Most of the times we use it for public transportation. For example, the bus leaves tonight at 6 p.m., but we can also use it for the kind of events like I have a dental appointment at 11 o'clock, the party starts at 9 o'clock. We can also use, like I mentioned before, the simple present is used to describe things that we do almost every day or always. So we have words to describe the time or times that we do that action. For example, always, I always come to the school by car. Often, I don't come here very often. Usually, he usually eats breakfast at 7 a.m. Sometimes I go to a party. Rarely, she rarely cooks. He's never late for class. Every day, they sleep every day. These words are also called signal words. They are going to tell us or to help us describe how much we do those things. So always is something that we do all the time. Often is something that we regularly do. Usually something that we do almost every day. Sometimes it's something that we can do like one day and we don't do it another day, but we do it on another day. Rarely something that we can do maybe like once a week, 2 times a week. Never is something that, well, the word says it, we never do it. And every day is something that we do every day. Very important, the grammar rules. In the third person singular, the verb is always going to end in a S. This is very important. There are some examples to this, but mostly on the third person. When it's first person singular, it's going to be the verb the way it is. We're not going to add anything. I need, I sing, I work, I eat. But in simple present, we're going to add, like I said before, the letter S at the end. So it can be he, she, it needs, he sings, she sings, it works, she eats, it eats. Another important rule is that that all the verbs that we use that end on a consonant, and that consonant is followed by a letter Y, we're going to change the letter Y for a IES at the end, but only when it's the third person. Again, only the third person. So when I'm saying I study, because it's singular, it's going to be I study, but it's going to change in third person. He, she studies, he, she cries, he, she replies, he, she replies. But there is an exception to this rule. If that word, instead of being followed by a consonant, it's followed by a vowel, the Y, after the vowel is a Y, we're just going to add the letter S at the ending of that verb, and we're not gonna change anything more. Another rule is that we're going to add the ES at the end of the word if we have words that have double S, X, S, CH, and O. For example, I go, he, she go. No? I kiss, it will be he, she kisses. I catch, it will be he, she catches. Yes. I wash, washes. And fix will be correct. Yes. And another important rule is that, like I said before, we need to add, to make a sentence to be simple present, the letter S or the rules that I mentioned before, but this only apply when we're talking about singular or third person. When we're talking about plurals, they, we, you, we're going to leave the verb the way it is. We're not going to add anything. Like, for example, I walk, it's singular, so in plural will be we walk. We won't add an S, an ES, anything. It's just, if it's plural, it's going to stay the way it is. And for have, we can use have. It's going to be he, she, it, and had. The had is going to turn into has. And if we use I, you, we, and they, it's going to be had. Okay. So there's also negative forms and question forms. For negative forms, we're going to start by. For question forms, we're going to use the word do and does. This is really important because we're going to start the sentence by applying do or does, but it depends on the subject that we're speaking of. If we're speaking in first person or plurals, we're going to use do, and if we're talking about third persons, we're going to use does. Okay, so it's do you like to eat? It's going to be yes, I do like, or I do not like to, or do you like to dance? I do not like to dance. Or does she likes to read? No, she doesn't like to read. Okay. Another examples. What do you do on a Saturday morning? I have breakfast in a restaurant. What does she do on weekdays? She does exercise. This is important because, like I said before, third persons we're going to use does, and for plurals or singular we're going to use do. Okay. So the grammar structure, we can make affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and interrogative sentences. With the affirmative, we're going to use subject. It can be you, dog, anything you want. A verb and a complement. For the negative, we can use subject, the auxiliary, like I said before, do or does, plus not, plus verb, plus a complement. And interrogative, we're going to use do, does, subject, verb, or complement. For the verb to be the way we're going to use it on simple present, it's going to be for I, it's going to be am. For he, she, it, it's going to be I, it's going to be is. And for you, we, they, it's going to be are, always. For example, affirmative, I am, he is, you are. Negative, I am not, he is not, you are not. And I, the question, is he or are you? Okay, we're going to do some exercises. Do you have any questions so far? Everything clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, we're going to do some exercise with the to be form. We're going to turn this missing sentences with the little clues we have here. So if it's I am hungry, a negative will be I'm sorry. It's going to be I'm not hungry. Okay? So if we're turning an affirmative into a question, it will be anyone? Correct. So you are Sam will be negative. You are or you aren't. It's correct. You aren't and you are not Sam. You aren't. Yeah, exactly. If you are not, you aren't Sam. It's completely fine. Well, it is. I'm having kind of trouble here, but okay. So if we're turning it into a question, it will be correct. So you are not friendly. It's a negative. So how it will turn to be in affirmative? You are friendly. Correct. So, correct. They, it says, are they happy? It will be an affirmative. Right. Like I said before, it can be they are not or they are not. It's completely fine. So we are we fine? How is it going to? We are. Correct. Negative. Correct. And she is she loud? It will be an affirmative.
She's loud.
And in negative.
She's loud.
We're going to move on to another exercise, and the other ones are, you already filled the other ones, so it's okay. So for have, I have a dog, you don't have a dog, so in question form it would be?
Do you have
a dog? Exactly. Remember that in question form we're always going to use the do or does first, and then we're going to put the has or have, and then the subject that we're talking about, okay? Okay, so an affirmative, you have a bike?
You don't have a bike.
Like I mentioned before, if you can write you do not or you don't have a dog. It's you do not or you don't have it, it's fine. So in a question form it will be?
Do you have a bike?
Correct. Does she have a sister? In affirmative it will be? She has, exactly. She has. Like I mentioned before, for third persons, we're going to use has. And for singulars, we're going to use, if it's I, you, they, and we, we're going to use have. Okay? But not no English. She has, exactly. And in negative, it's going to be?
She doesn't have.
And we are negative, I mean affirmative is going to be, if we place it, do we have a car, it's going to be,
We currently have a car.
are you having trouble seeing? No? No? Do you all see the screen correctly?
Yes.
We have a car, and negative?
We don't have a car.
So do they have money? It's in affirmative it will be,
They have money.
they have money. In so any questions in this? No? Okay, so we're going to complete the sentences or form the sentences, but it's going to be only affirmative sentences with these words. For example, I to collect stamps, I collect stamps. So we to play stamps in simple present, it would be?
We play card games.
Exactly, we play card games. And Perla to sing in a band? Correctly? Sing exactly, sings in a band. He to read comics? Is that correct? And she to be nice? She is nice. Correctly. Do you have any questions about this? No? Okay, negative sentences, we're going to do almost the same. So if the affirmative sentence is I watch TV,
I don't watch TV.
I don't watch TV. So, that's correct. We play football if it's affirmative.
We don't play.
She cleans her room in negative is going to be?
She does not clean her room.
Correct. They open the windows, it's going to be?
They don't open.
They do not. Remember, does, did, we, he, she, and it. Okay? When it's singular, I, they, we, you, exactly, if we're going to use do. Okay? Do not, do, or do. It is not boring. Because do is something that we're doing, so it's just going to be it is. It's only it is. It is not. We're not going to use do in these cases. So we're going to now make question sentences. So, for example, she to collect stickers is going to mean does she collect stickers? So they to play a game, it's going to be?
Do they play a game?
Correct. Exactly, do they play a game? So, you to be from Paris, it's?
Are you from Paris?
Exactly, are you from Paris? Are you from Paris? And the pupils to wear school uniforms, it's going to be? Exactly, do the pupils wear school uniforms? And he to read book?
Does he read book?
Does he read? Exactly. Does he read books? Any questions with the simple tense? Simple present? No? we're going to talk now about present progressive tense. The difference between the simple present and the present progressive tense is that the present progressive indicates an action that it is happening at the moment, but it's going to continue happening. So we're doing it right now, but we're going to keep doing it for a certain period of time. Okay? It can also suggest that an action is going to keep happening in the future, like I said before. And we can use it for different situations. We can use it for actions that are taking place at the moment, of that we're speaking, arrangement for the near future, action taking place for a limited amount of time, actions taking place around now, and development or changing situations. The important thing about present progressive is that we're going to form the tense with the help of the verb to be with simple present, but we're going to, what makes it different is that we're going to add the ending ing at the end of the verbs.
Oh, yeah.
Arrangements are situations? Are the same? Arrangement, the
Yeah.
word arrangement.
Yeah, like-
Situations?
Yeah, it can be for appointments, if you have a date or some place. Yes, arrangements are dates. So, the grammar structure, like I mentioned before, we're going to use the pronoun. We're going to use am with the pronoun I. And with third persons, we're going to use is, he, she, or it. We're going to use is. And with you, we, and they, we're going to use are for examples. In affirmatives, it will be I am playing. Negative, I am not playing. Am I playing? So we're going to use he, she, he's playing. He's not playing. Is he playing? You, we, they, you are playing. We're not playing. And are you playing? Like you can see, we're going to use in affirmative the subject first, then the form of the verb to be. Then it is.
I have a question.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
And the negative form
Yes.
implies right. He's not playing. He's a contraction. Is it okay?
Yeah. I mean, if you put the yeah, you can write it. Yeah, you can let me write it.
Please.
Yes, you can write it either way, but you can write it. I'm sorry if my letter is a little bit ugly.
Don't worry.
You can write he is not or he.
He's.
Yes, but you have to remember to put the symbol, because without this symbol, you're just writing his, and that's that word. Yeah, this is correct, and this is correct.
But he's not.
He's, but
On
like
the
this.
second. On the second. With the contraction is not. Is correct?
Yes, it is
And
correct.
you can write.
Just so you can write.
Can we write he isn't
Yeah.
too?
Yes.
3 forms?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I mean, they're just contractions.
Oh. He isn't.
Yeah. He isn't. I don't know, playing.
Uh-huh.
You know, because we have to add the ing for the present progressive. So he can be he's not playing, but it's correct. You can use he's not or
Oh, he isn't.
he isn't. Exactly.
Okay. And the opposite.
Yeah, you have to put it. It's really important.
I have that doubt.
No, it's fine. We have to remember the apostrophe, like you said, because if we don't put it, like it's grammatically wrong.
Okay.
Okay, and mostly in this one because this word doesn't even exist.
That is.
But I mean, all of them are correct.
Okay.
Well, the grammar rules are going to be important too. If we have a single silent E at the end of a verb or a word, we're going to drop completely the letter E and we're going to change it for the termination ing. For example, come, it's going to change to coming. I'm coming home, we're coming home, he's coming home. Okay? But if we have double E at the end of a word, we are not going to drop the E's, we're just going to add the ing at the end of the word. And if we have a consonant after a short stressed vowel, we're going to double the letter. In this case, it's T, and we're going to add the ing at the end. For example, sit, sitting. I'm sitting on the sofa. You're sitting on the sofa, and he's sitting on the sofa. Okay? And in case that we have a word that ends in an EA, we're going to we're going to change these two letters into a Y, and then we're going to add the ing. For example, we have one, lie. It's going to turn into lying. Like I said, we're going to completely drop these two letters, and we're going to add the letter Y, and then ing, lie, lying. I'm lying in bed, you are lying in bed, and he's lying in bed. Any questions about this one?
What's the meaning of lie?
Lie, it's, well, it depends on the situation. Because lie can be referred to as something that is not true or mentira. Or lie, it's to, yeah, exactly. So it can be, it depends on the situation. Because there's another word that it's late, L-I-Y, that almost sounds sometimes the same. They have similar meaning but are different. So lying in this case refers to put your body in the bed. In this case. Any questions?
No.
So for like I mentioned before, if you remember that in simple present, we mentioned several words. It was never, always, often, sometimes. Well, in present progressive, we also have those kinds of words, but they are going to let us express something completely different. For example, actions taking place at the moment of speaking. We can use the moment, now, just now, listen or look. For example, at the moment I'm giving a English class. Or look, there's a car crash. You know, you're driving and you see, you know, somebody just ignore completely the red light and crash into another car. Look, there's a car crash. Or I don't know, you give someone an order and they're doing it completely wrong, so you can say like, listen, you're not doing it right or correctly, whatever. Or now I'm speaking to you right now. I was drinking a coffee just now, for example. Arrangements in the near future, like we saw before, we can use in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at noon, tonight, tomorrow, next. For example, tonight I'm going to babysit my sister's daughter or my sister's baby. Okay, it's an arrangement, and we're going to do it in the near future because we're going to do it tonight. Or in the morning, I have a dental appointment or an appointment with the doctor. In the evening, I'm going to the gym. It's in a situation or an arrangement that we have to do at the evening, so it's completely fine. Or we can also use tomorrow and next. Also, we can use the simple progressive for actions taking place only for a limited period of time. For example, this week I have to clean. This week I have to wash the clothes. Or this month I'm moving.